YouTube fam.
All of our faithful followers.
Faithful viewers. Y'all are the original few.
Yeah.
Family members and friends.
Yeah, mostly family members and friends. That's alright. So the second episode of Big Brother just aired, and before we get into a lot of details, I do want to say that we're 2 episodes in, we're 3 hours into the season, and I'm still feeling good about the cast. I feel like everybody's playing. I feel like, you know, people are engaged in the game. I haven't heard a lot of things that are bumming me out yet, and so
quite a few seem to know the game. Yeah,
I'm still feeling pretty optimistic right now about this cast, and so really fired up to see what happens when we get the live feeds going tonight.
Midnight.
Obviously there'll be tons of spoilers there, but we won't talk about those. What we are going to talk about, the first thing I want to talk about is, you know, I said during after the last episode that I didn't like half the house being given safety. I thought that, I even said that, you know, it's going to create a divide where they think they're going to create a divide, and it's not. And it didn't. It didn't create a safe side of the house and a not safe side of the house. That's not what has happened. But what I did notice is that when there's only 7 people eligible to be on the chopping block, those 7 kind of kick it into high gear, and they really did. The ones that were in danger started gathering their forces and getting their groups together.
You didn't see much of the ones that were safe.
Right. You know, my favorite on this show is still Scotty, and we really only saw him at the very beginning whenever he was celebrating being safe, and then after that he was gone.
Yeah, and then at the ceremony at the end.
Yeah, so he was barely even there.
He didn't even talk in that ceremony, I don't think.
Which is fine because, you know, they didn't have a lot of filler here. They actually, everything they showed was gameplay, and it wasn't just, you know, them being caricatures of themselves. You started to see a little bit more of the player side of these house guests, and it's really early on, so I'm liking that. So the first thing the first time that I really started to see some grouping going on is when they show Caitlyn, who is still hilarious, by the way. Yeah.
I don't know how to meditate.
I don't know.
I'm gonna have to take her class that she showed.
Caitlyn is delightfully crazy. And before we even get to that, you know, Caitlyn, I really enjoyed Caitlyn this episode. You know, she had her freak out when she didn't get safe, which is what they ended the episode with yesterday.
But then, and then they also showed Swaggy C listening in on him, or Chris.
And she didn't even know he had heard her, at least we don't know that. But still, she had the frame of mind to be like, I need to kind of go smooth this over. And so she's got that self-awareness, and I think that she's still playing up this hippie vibe, I think more so than she normally would. But I mean, it's working for her, so I can appreciate her gameplay, and I think a huge gameplay move that we saw is that she's holding these yoga meditation
well, she could be doing
spirit vibe sessions, you know, and she's got
her third eye. I love the editing there.
Yeah, but she's got a majority alliance in there with her, you know. She's got in that scene, and I wrote down these names real quickly, so I may have this wrong, but in that room working on that the meditation, you had Angie, you had Rockstar. Chris, Rockstar, and Chris,
Swaggy C,
and Caitlyn was obviously leading it. You had Big Fessy in there. You had Loudmouth Bailey, and I'm pretty sure Cutesy Haley was in there too. I mean, and that's 6 people right there. Noticeably, the HOH was not in that room, but that's 6 people in there that are doing this whole meditation thing. That's a majority of people that are in there, and even Fessy in his diary room said that he didn't expect that he would be in the hippie clique or the hippie, you know, alliance or whatever. I don't think they ever used the term alliance, but those 6 have kind of hooked up together, and so Caitlin's little life coach thing is kind of working in her favor. But on the other corner,
the other alliance,
the
Bros and Bikinis,
the Bros and the Bikinis alliance, I like. This is the kind of alliance I enjoy watching. You've got
some strong athletic people in this alliance.
You've got the competitors over there. You've got Winston, who's been my stud the whole time.
The original 4 are Winston.
Yeah, Brett. Who those two seem to click up pretty well. And Brett should be beast mode. I mean, that dude is huge. Rachel, and I'm loving Rachel. I think she's awesome. She is scheming. She's doesn't she have safety this week? I don't know if I can't remember.
No, she doesn't.
No, I'm just saying she's finding alliances. She's reading the house. She's playing hard, but she's still under the radar.
And then Angela. Well, that's the original 4.
Yeah, and Angela is not playing under the radar.
Wait, does Rachel have? I was thinking Angela. Rachel might have. I think Rachel does have immunity.
I can't remember. But Angela, she's front and center, letting everybody know how tough she is.
Which could go against her.
It could go against her, but if you're some of these other people, that's a shield. Casey, who should be good, but hasn't really. Yeah, we haven't seen anything out of her yet, but she's doing a good job of kind of laying low, and even in a bright unitard. And then apparently Tyler, I think the nominations at the end kind of solidify that that's the direction that Tyler is going in. The big questions are the remaining 4. You've got JC. Who knows what that dude's doing?
We didn't really see much of him in this episode either.
Which is crazy, because we were talking about how as soon as you have 8 house guests that are safe, they kind of fell off the map. We didn't see a whole lot of them in this episode, but JC is not safe. All we saw JC doing was reaching up to try to put those balls in the tube, and then
he started dancing because he didn't want to be HOH is what he said, and then we didn't see or hear from him after that little interview, did we?
Yeah, so I don't. JC he's not aligned with anybody that we can see. He doesn't seem close to anybody. His biggest thing is everyone's legit looking over him. He's not a threat to anybody. Mm-hmm. And so I get a strong floater vibe from JC. I think he's going to float from alliance to alliance, go with the power, and continue to stay way under the radar. Scotty's in a great position by being safe. He said as much, and then he said in his interviews he wanted to fly under the radar, which he's going to be able to do. But there's some clicks that are happening, and he's not a part of any of them. Maybe that's good. Maybe he let them take shots at each other at the beginning, and get to the second phase of the game before he kicks it in. I think that's probably a good strategy for him. He just needs to find somebody. Maybe it's JC, but I don't know. He needs to find somebody. And then lastly, Sam and Steve, and they don't have anybody. They're all by themselves. And Sam, poor girl, what is she gonna do? She's in that robot thing, and that's the worst.
Super disadvantaged.
It's the worst punishment they've ever done.
This is the major time to bond with people and to form alliances. And even when she was in the storage room, I don't know, it's not a good situation. She can't talk to them very well. Can you whisper in that thing?
I doubt it. And she can't go to the HOH room.
Oh yeah, she can't climb stairs.
She can't make a real plea. And honestly, it's the smart move to nominate her, because you don't have to look her in the eye. She is apart from everybody else. And so I agree with nominating Sam. I think that he nominated Steve just because he fell off the deal. I think that Sam is probably the easiest target right now. He's going to get off with no blood on his hands. And
she's not aligned with anybody.
Yeah, so I have to say I kind of agree with the nominations. I think that they were smart. I think they were simple. You don't want to start stirring up water too early on like Chris is doing. Chris is playing way too hard, too fast.
Way too hard.
He's trying to make a name for himself, and he's going to be a third week eviction. Like, he's playing way too hard, and
Bailey's gonna get herself in trouble too.
yeah, Bailey's mouth is flying off the handle. She's yelling at people during HOH comps, trying to backtrack, which is never gonna happen. She's going on about how close she is with Swaggy in the HOH room.
And she wasn't keeping it close to herself, like close to the vest, like her cards.
No.
She's just like laying it all out there for the HOH without thinking it further in the game. Like, how can it help her?
Right, she's being a loudmouth princess recruit. She's recruited. She doesn't know what she's doing. So she probably doesn't even realize the mistakes that she's making, but she will.
A recruit. She seems like she doesn't watch the game.
Yeah, she'll know soon enough. So, just to end, I think that the nominations were the right nominations. I'm excited after 2 episodes. I can't wait for the live feeds, and I think that we're on track for a great season. Let's just fingers crossed that we keep it up.
Okay, live feeds tonight. Bye.
Bye.